something fragile begins to emerge, but not in the way you would expect. Not fragile as weakness, fragile as transformation. A silhouette that seems to rebuild itself, slowly, almost instinctively. Hello my dear fashion enthusiasts. I'm truly delighted to have you back for a new runway breakdown. Today we are in Paris to discover the Yohji Yamamoto Spring Summer 2025 runway show. The atmosphere stands out immediately, almost before the first look even appears. The light feels soft, slightly diffused, like it refuses to fully reveal what is about to happen. There is a form of quiet tension in the air, something introspective. Very quickly, a feeling settles in. Everything slows down. The silhouettes don't arrive, they unfold, and the entire space feels suspended, as if time itself had been softened. From the very first looks, something becomes clear. There is no desire to impress, no need to prove anything. The approach feels instinctive, almost internal, like a reflection rather than a statement. Yohji Yamamoto, who has spent decades shaping a language of deconstruction, is not trying to revisit it. He is extending it, pushing it into something more intimate. Not a repetition of his past, but a quiet evolution of it. What emerges is a very singular vision of femininity. A woman who is not defined by structure, but by movement. A woman who seems to rebuild herself from fragments, from pieces of fabric gathered around her body. Strips tied across the chest, under the hips, irregular edges that never fully resolve. Long straps that extend beyond the garment, creating a sense of continuation. Nothing feels fixed, nothing feels final. Everything suggests a process, a transformation still in motion. And yet, despite this apparent fragility, the silhouettes move with ease. There is something incredibly controlled in the way they exist. They don't collapse under their own complexity. They breathe, but behind this softness, there is a very deliberate construction. This is where Yamamoto's mastery becomes undeniable. He draws from his own archives, from decades of experimentation with form and imbalance. There is a dialogue here between destruction and reconstruction, between what is undone and what is rebuilt. And this is the moment where everything subtly shifts, because the collection never falls into nostalgia. It refuses that trap completely. Instead, it becomes something more present, more grounded in today's emotional landscape, less conceptual, more human. As the show progresses, the volumes begin to expand. The silhouettes gain presence without becoming heavy. Materials start to interact in a very organic way. You see matte textures against fluid layers, dense fabrics responding to something almost weightless. Metallic touches appear but never dominate. They simply catch the light, then disappear again. There is a constant dialogue between structure and fluidity, and this contrast gives real depth to the collection. Then come the details, and this is where the emotion intensifies. Cords move around the body, almost like traces of movement frozen in time. Revisited hoop skirts introduce volume, but without rigidity. And then a moment stands out. A white lace dress appears, light, elongated, almost floating. Subtle dark lines run through it, like shadows passing over the surface. It extends into a long train, quiet, controlled, but deeply expressive. It's one of those silhouettes that doesn't try to dominate, yet stays in your mind. The progression of the show remains incredibly fluid. There are no abrupt breaks, no forced transitions. Everything connects. Everything builds slowly, like a continuous movement guided by emotion rather than structure. And this is reinforced by the atmosphere, by that sense of introspection that never leaves the room. But despite this coherence, a question remains. Is this level of restraint always a strength, or does it sometimes limit the impact of certain silhouettes? At moments you can feel the collection staying within a very controlled space, almost too controlled, as if it refuses to fully let go. And yet, that tension is also what makes it interesting. Because Yamamoto has never been about excess. He works in nuance, in subtle shifts, in emotional layers that reveal themselves over time. There is a quiet intensity here, something that doesn't need to be loud to exist. By the final looks, the silhouettes evolve once again. Fluid lines become more assertive, and touches of red begin to appear. Not aggressive but present, almost like a final statement, a conclusion that doesn't close the story but leaves it open. What remains above all is this balance between fragility and control, between reconstruction and instinct, between past and present. What do you think? Does this vision resonate with you? Or does it feel a bit too restrained? Let me know in the comments. I would really love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching this breakdown. I will see you very soon for another analysis. I wish you an excellent viewing for the rest of the show. Take care and stay inspired.
Here is the dealer, I'm out of the game. Here is the healer, it means I'm broken late. Incarnate glory then, mine must be the shame. You want it darker, you kill the flame.
Magnified, sanctified,
Be the holy name
purified, crucified,
in the human frame. A million candles burning for the help that never came. You want it darker,